And like we just reported, millions of Americans have contracted COVID-19 and hundreds of thousands have died.
But for some who survive even mild cases, the long-term effects seem to be even more unbearable than the virus itself. They call themselves long haulers, and they're searching for answers.
Joint pain, muscle aches, you just feel all around like you have the flu, but a really bad flu.
Almost every day,
the muscle pain throughout my entire body from my head to my toes.
Tara Salisker,
I get out of breath walking up the stairs now.
And Raina Geist.
Oh, the brain fog. I feel like I have dementia.
Wake up hoping.
Shortness of breath, a lot of heart palpitations, horrible insomnia, upper back aches.
Today will be the day.
And just when I thought I was getting better, 2-3 days later, I'd be knocked down again.
They finally feel better.
So I'm pretty much sequestered at my house, and it's been that way for 5 months.
But that day has yet to come for either woman.
I've been to countless appointments, echocardiogram, EKG, CT scans.
Who feel like they're living a reoccurring daily nightmare.
I feel like my bones are lead. I feel like every cell in my body is sick.
They both had mild cases of COVID-19, yet are dealing with long-term effects of the virus.
The headaches are 24 hours a day. I mean, I go to bed with them, I wake up with them.
Also known as COVID long haulers.
Yeah, and this happened with the polio pandemic, is people would have what's called post-polio syndrome, long-term effects from that. So there probably is a post-COVID syndrome that's just starting to happen, and we're just learning about.
An article in the Journal of the American Medical Association estimates about 10% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers, which could be attributed to how the body reacted to the virus when it was still active.
If you look at the pathology, like under a microscope of the lung tissue in someone with COVID, a lot of it is the body's inflammatory response causing the damage more so than the virus itself. We're not dealing with just the virus, but the body's inappropriate or overly reactive response to the virus as well.
With the feeling of isolation still present, a sense of community forming on the internet as people continuously research and share their symptoms. On the Wisconsin COVID Long Haulers Facebook page, Tara has found refuge.
Finding the Facebook page was my, I guess, answered prayer in so many senses, because I finally found people, and reading everybody's experience, I'm like, I'm not crazy. That is exactly what I'm going through.
While an official diagnosis of COVID long haulers from her doctor has Raina ready to accept her new normal.
One day I might wake up feeling okay. By noon, I'm right back in bed. And so it's like kind of a roller coaster of highs and lows, because you get your hopes up that maybe, you might be over this and you get your life back. And then it's like it's laughing at me, like saying, haha, never mind. My doctor said it's like becoming paralyzed. You lived up to a point one way, and then you may have to live a different way forever.
Both say you might survive COVID, but you could also end up in that 10%.
And if there was a cure, if there was something, we'd be taking it, we'd be doing it. No one's choosing to live this way. No one would ever choose to live this way, because my life has been turned upside down.
You think COVID is nothing and you survived it and it was no more than the cold. That just be aware there's people out there that are getting sick, and even though we haven't been hospitalized, we still have been suffering for months and months from this virus, and we have no idea if we're ever going to be okay again.
Now, Salisker has gotten in contact with researchers in other states that are treating long haulers and trying to hone in on what causes someone to become one, to share her experiences and medical history.